Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of great Allah, who is so kind and merciful on their creation. Now, today we will talk about the biometry. Biometry means detection of the IUL power for the cataract surgery to replace the natural IUL with artificial IUL. This is a technique by which our patient will have a satisfied vision after cataract surgery. The first cataract surgery was done by Herald in 1953 and has patient surprised, many surprised about the refraction after cataract surgery. After in 1982, I think the IUL power was detected by another scholar about 23.70 diopter, and also by passing the time there are so improvement in the detection and also in the surgery of the eye, and after cataract surgery the patient will have satisfied vision, and also the patient will not need two spectacle and also another instrument like contact lens and etc. For therefore biometry is very important, and also every surgeon will be know proper information of the biometry. Biometry is the process of measuring the power of the cornea by keratometry and also the length of the eye, and using this data in a special software to determine the perfect IOL power. This is from Indian Journal, this definition, and also from the American Academy. They also mentioned that applying mathematics to the biology or by the Konski definition, calculation of the lens power is called biometry. What is the aim of biometry? Before we have also mentioned about the aim, because to achieve a desired post-operative refraction after cataract surgery, and also the patient doesn't need to glasses, to spectacle, and to contact lens, and also shortly the patient will have ametropia, no hypermetropia, no myopia, just the picture will be focused on the retina. This is our aim after cataract surgery and also a biometry. Okay, biometry tools. Two parameter is very important for the detection of the IOL power. The first one is axial length. Axial length, just this is the distance from the corneal epithelium to the retinal pigment epithelium. This distance is called axial length, and this is very important, and also we will talk later about this. The axial length we also measure by two methods. The first one is contact method, the second one is non-contact. In the contact method we also use applanation, transducer, a scan, and also it is also we use two methods. The first one is on the direct contact transducer, just we place the transducer at the cornea, and the second one it is called immersion method. We also place a pressure just onto the cornea and fill the pressure from the saline, and also we use the transducer and also detect the axial length. Everyone have their benefit at their special places. And also in the non-contact, this is very important, and also we use this by two equipments. The first one is IOL master, and also the second one is by Lenster. The keratometry. Keratometry measurement of the corneal power. It is called keratometry. And also we detect the K1 and K2, K1 horizontal meridian, and also the flattest meridian, and K2, this is the vertical meridian, this is the steepest meridian. So also we use K1, I'll detect K1 and K2 and average of this, and also we fit this average of the car and our software reading, and also we detect the IOL power. So why we have some error in the measurement of the corneal power? Because the power of the cornea is more accurate just in the center of the cornea. It is about 1 or 155 millimeter. But our instrument, like manual, it is measure the cornea from 3.2 millimeter, and also the another one is from 1.6 millimeter, 5 millimeter. So therefore, because the central area is stiffest and also the peripheral area is flattest, therefore we have some error in the measurement of the keratometry. We also mentioned before we have two types, manual and automated keratometry. The ratio of the keratometry and the IOL power, this is 1 by 1. If there is error in the corneal power about half diopter, so there will be have an error in the IOL also half diopter, 1 by 1. Or if we have 1 diopter error in the corneal power, so we also have 1 diopter error in the IOL power after cataract surgery. Okay, in the manual keratometry we have used a special equipment, and also they have eyepiece. We just focus our eyepiece, we have a plus sign, and also we focus the eyepiece to see clearly that plus sign. And also we have take 3 measurement of the cornea, and we also take average of them. But the most important thing which is very important for the surgeon, this is about this: if the diopter of the cornea, the measurement of the cornea or power of the cornea is less than 40 diopter or more than 48 diopter, so we will discard the measurement of that person, of the technician. Or there is difference between the two eye about 1 diopters. This also from American Academy, and also 155 diopter. This was from Indian journal, but the exact and precise is 1 diopter. There is, because you remember this one, for biometry we always measure both eye cornea. Always measure. We have take keratometry of the both eyes. If there is difference about 1 diopter in the both eyes, so we will discard the measurement of the technician or of the observer, and also we repeat this by another one. In a scare cornea also we have used a method, because in the scare cornea we cannot obtain proper measurement of the cornea. For this we also take another eye measurement. Okay, in the manual keratometry we also measure at the 4 point of the cornea about 3.2 millimeter. For this we have faced some errors in the manual keratometry. Okay, this keratometer is present in our setting, and also we use this one for cataract surgery. And also this another one you can watch the video here, because this is
This week you'll be learning about the keratometer. The keratometer is an instrument that serves 2 purposes. 1, to identify the amount and type of corneal astigmatism, and 2, to identify the proper base curve of the contact lens being fit to the patient's eye. Before taking a keratometry reading, the first thing that should be done is to focus the eyepiece. Position the white back occluder vertically in front of the instrument. Turn the eyepiece cap counterclockwise as far as possible. Looking into the eyepiece, turn it clockwise until the plus sign becomes sharp and in focus. After you focus the eyepiece, turn the instrument on and look through the eyepiece. You will see a plus sign. Continue looking through the eyepiece. Turn the eyepiece cap clockwise until the plus sign becomes sharp and in focus. Do not turn the eyepiece cap back and forth, as this will stimulate accommodation. The next step is to align your patient. With the chin resting in the chin rest, turn the chin rest elevation knob up or down so the center of the patient's forehead is resting against the forehead bar. Once the patient is positioned comfortably, we are going to align the keratometer to the patient's right outer canthus. Move the elevation knob up or down so the alignment marker is aligned with the outer canthus. Once this is done, occlude the left eye. Turn the instrument to point directly at the eye being measured. Looking from the left side of the instrument, you will see a bright white ring in the center of the patient's right eye. If the bright white ring is not in the center, you may use the elevation knob to center the ring. Once the correct position has been established, instruct the patient to fixate on the green light inside the instrument. Looking through the eyepiece, you will see the target mires. Note, the target mires may be blurred. If the target mires are blurred, turn the focusing knob to clear the image. The black plus sign should be in the center of the bottom right-hand circle. This is also known as our focusing circle. Turn the elevation knob if the plus sign is not in the center. Once the plus sign is in the center of the focusing circle, the optical axis of the instrument will coincide with the patient's visual axis. For this particular instrument, focusing does not depend solely upon the sharpness of the target mires, but is accomplished by coinciding the double focusing circles into one circle. You will see two plus signs between the left-hand circle and the focusing circle. To locate the axis of the corneal astigmatism, turn the rotating grip knob so that the tips of the plus signs touch. If the patient has regular astigmatism, remember this is when the principal meridians are 90 degrees apart, the minus signs will align vertically. If the minus signs do not align vertically, the patient has irregular astigmatism. Remember, irregular astigmatism is when the two principal meridians are not 90 degrees apart. Once the axis has been noted, turn the horizontal measuring drum until the plus signs are superimposed. When the plus signs are superimposed, the horizontal reading is complete. Please note that the patient will make slight movements throughout your readings. It is imperative that the mires remain in sharp focus, so keep your hand on the focusing knob at all times. Once the horizontal reading has been found, turn the vertical measuring drum until the minus signs are superimposed. When the minus signs are superimposed, the vertical reading is now complete. Keep in mind the patient will make slight movements throughout your readings, so keep your hand on the focusing knob at all times to keep those mires in sharp focus. Now you're going to follow these same exact steps for the left eye. The scale of the horizontal measuring drum indicates the dioptric power of the cornea along the horizontal meridian. The meridian indicators on the axis scale are white lines. Horizontal axes fall plus or minus 20 degrees around 180. The scale of the vertical measuring drum indicates the dioptric power of the cornea along the vertical meridian. The meridian indicators on the axis scale are white lines. Vertical axes fall plus or minus 20 degrees around 90. Once you have completed your horizontal and vertical readings, we can now interpret those measurements. The first thing we have to do is determine if the two principal meridians are 90 degrees apart. 180 and 90 are 90 degrees apart, so we have what's called regular astigmatism. Which form of regular astigmatism is present? Since the horizontal meridian is flatter than the vertical meridian, we have with the rule. The difference between the two principal meridians indicates the amount of corneal astigmatism. So just subtract the two readings. 43 minus 42.37 is equal to 0.63 diopters. So we have 0.63 diopters of, with the rule, corneal astigmatism for the...
Okay, so by this manual keratometry we measure the power of the cornea, and also we have obtained more information about the astigmatism, regular astigmatism and irregular astigmatism, with the rule, against the rule, and also the amount of the astigmatism. In the automated keratometry, and this also this pentacam or another scan by we use this equipment for the detection of the automated keratometry. And this also this machine used the 6 point about just very nearly 2.6 millimeter to the center of the cornea, and also by the topography measurement it used to detect the power of the cornea and also use many points, more than 5,000 points, and also the automated keratometry pick up the irregular astigmatism. You can watch here this video. This is a pentacam and automated keratometry. It is more precise and also more good.
Your seat right here. Yeah. Perfect. And what I'm going to be doing on this machine is we are going to be taking 25,000 different measurements of your eye. There's two of them. 25,000 different measurements, 5 different levels of your cornea. Okay. This will be yet another very in-depth exam. So let me explain what's going to happen here for you before we get everything going. Is when I turn it on, you'll be staring straight into here. There's going to be a blue light with a dot in the middle. Your job is to stare at the dot. Now, you can blink until I say, here we go. And I want your eyes wide, like you're terrified. Okay. This whole thing is going to start to spin except for your dot. You're going to stay focused on the dot while it's spinning. And when it's spinning, you cannot blink. So let me get this down for you now. What I'm going to have you do is move your chair just a hair bit more to the right so that you're completely in alignment. Great. Chin in, forehead touching that top band. Back just a little bit. Beautiful. Good. Blink again. Beautiful. And one more blink. Open wide. Here we go. Don't move. Good. Sit back. Come back in, Nori. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do your other eye. So again, just look right down in there and focus on that little dot. And blink one more time. Open wide. Here we go. That's perfect. Good. Beautiful. Sit back. Relax.
Okay, this was the pentacam you watch here, and also this will be very important for the detection of astigmatism and also the exact power of the cornea. After this, also in the ablation method, we use ultrasound. The ultrasound, you can see here a bad picture of bed. This also use ultrasound waves to detect the direction, and this wave also used in the axial length measurement. Okay, we have mentioned before, because axial length measurement, it is the distance of the anterior corneal surface to retinal pigment epithelium, and also contact ultrasound measurement have been the gold standard earlier, but nowadays it is also used in many settings and also in many situations, but are likely to have more subjective errors. Why subjective errors? Because maybe some deficiency at the cornea, and also maybe misalignment, and also non-proper perpendicular to the cornea, and also this have this problem. But the combination of these both techniques have a best and good result. Average ray length of the axial length in phakic eye is about 24 millimeter in adult. Okay, contact ultrasound biometry, it is also, we have mentioned before, two type: applanation contact and also immersion contact type. In this, we required a probe placed perpendicularly on the cornea, and also ideally in the sitting position. It is all possible due to excess indentation of the cornea. I mean compression, if there is compression about 0.5 millimeter, so we will have pace minus 1.25 diopter error after cataract surgery. If there is misalignment or not perpendicular to the cornea, there will be if error about 0.5 millimeters, so there will be plus 1.25 diopter in the post-refractive errors. Also in the contact method, because we contact the probe to the cornea, for this we also have a risk of transmission of the infection. Steeper accurate measurement of axial length, because we have some steeps and also we have the machine should be calibrated before. Because why we calibrate our machine? Because we have many type of the patient like pseudophakic, aphakic, and also dense cataract phakic patients. For this we have the mode of the setting, and also we choose the type of the patient in our software. Okay, echo from the cornea anterior lens surface. Also this is a tall echo, and also posterior lens surface. This is also a tall echo. One echo from cornea, one is from lens, and also from retina. And also from the cornea we have two echoes, because we have total 5 echoes or 5 spike. Okay, so we also mentioned before, you should not always carefully about the compression and about the perpendicular of the probe to the cornea. Average we always take 10 reading for that to give the lowest standard deviation, and standard deviation is about 0.4 millimeter. Always measure both eye and repeat if axial length difference when we discharge the axial length difference. If there is a reading of the two eye is more than 0.3 millimeter, so we will discharge and repeat the axial length measurement. Or if we examine the same eye 2 times and there will be difference about 0.2 millimeter, also we discard the measurement of the axial length, and also we need to do this axial measurement by another observer or by another soldier. Also you should have or you will be very careful in the short eye. The short eye which I have axial length less than 22 millimeter, this is the short one, and the large one who have axial length more than 25 millimeter, this is the large one. So also, and this also we have faced many error, and also we have need to choose different formula for the detection of the IOL power in this situation or this condition. And again also we used to adjust our gain. What is the gain? Gain is also electronical augmentation of the sound waves which is produced by the transducer. So we have normally have gain about 70 to 75% our gain, normal gain. Also we increase our gain in the patient who have dense cataract, and also he have high myopia. So in this patient also we increase our gain, and also we decrease our gain in pseudophakic eye, because in the pseudophakic eye the spike which is produced from the artificial lens, it will be misunderstand to the retinal spike. For this we decrease our gain. This is very important, and also we have this option in our software. We will show after in the next slide to you. Okay, in the posterior stapyloma, or the axial length is large or elongated. For this we always measure this vitreous chamber by the B scan, and also we add this measurement to lens thickness and also to the anterior chamber deepness for the giving proper result or proper measurement of the axial length. Okay, corneal echo we mentioned before, it is a long and a single spike, and also when you go from aqueous humor, and also anterior and posterior lens capsule produce tall echoes and no echoes from vitreous cavity, and retina produce tall sharply rising spike with no staircase. This is very important. If there is staircase in the retinal spike, so there will be some hitting at the optic nerves, or the patient have many other problems. So this is very important. Okay, orbital fat also produce a less height spikes, and also we also keep this in our mind, because if not presentness of this spikes, we have some problem in the posterior pole, so we should to investigate more. Okay, check a scan graph. If spike from the retina is not followed by multiple small spike, it means one is hitting optic nerve, so discard the reading. Also gain should be the minimum possible, which give good spike, very good. And probe should be perpendicular center and pointing to the macula. This is also important in the detection of proper axial length measurement. And also there will be no fluid between the cornea and the probe. Yes, you can see here, this is the front transducer or the probe, just it is perpendicular to the cornea, and also it is pointing to the macula. Okay, this is the A scan spike. This is the pipe spike which is produced here by the anterior cornea. Also this is the anterior cornea, and this is the AC depth, anterior chamber depth, and this is also the anterior spike of the lens. This is the posterior spikes of the lens. This is the thickness of the lens, and also from this spike, this is the distance of the vitreous. And also we have mentioned before, there is no any staircase in this spike, and also this will be followed up by short spike or short waves. This is orbital waves. Okay, we also mentioned before about the gain. The gain you should can watch here, because the gain we measure on the decibel, and it is about the 70 to 75. This is the normal gain. And also we have mentioned before, because we have 10 measurement of the axial length, and this we take average of this one from the machine. Okay, you can watch here the following eye type. We also change our type from here. This is the aphakic eye or pseudophakic eye or aphakic eye or dense cataract. And also the vitreous type, because in the many fashion surgery, because the silicone oil will be replaced with vitreous, so this is also very important. Okay, you can watch here, there is measurement of the coronary of the IOL power. This is the IOL power. And also there we use the SRK2 formula. SRK2 formula, we also talk about this in the next slide. The SRK2 formula is very important, and also we use this if the axial length was 22 to 24.5 millimeter. If this is greater from this, so we will use another formula like Hopper formula. And also if this is less from 22, so also we used another one formula. And also if there is more than 25, so also we also use SRK2 formula. This formula is very important, because if you don't adjust your formula here according to the axial length, so your IOL power will have some error. Okay, this was the spike. Before we have mentioned one spike here from the corneal epithelium, and also another spike also have the corneal endothelium or posterior corneal spike, and anterior, this is the thickness of the cornea. And also this is the anterior chamber depthness. Here is the anterior, the spike is produced from the anterior capsule, and this one from the posterior capsule, and this is the thickness of the lens. And from here, this is to the retinal pigment epithelium. This spike also we have made, this have no any staircase, there is no any staircase, and the retinal spike will follow by another low height spike, and this is the orbital pads. Okay, in the immersion biometry, we also mentioned before, we use a pressure, and also we just pull this from the saline, and also we place this on the eye, and also we use the applanation tonometer for axial length applanation probe for axial length measurements. You watch this video here about the immersion meter.
눈 떠서 저 본다고 생각하시면 돼요. 넘길 때도 넘기시면 돼요. 눈 떠서 저 본다고 생각하시면 돼요. 넘길 때도 넘기시면 돼요. 편안하게 정리해. 오른쪽 눈 뜨시겠어요? 바로 있죠? 오른쪽도 뜨세요. 오른쪽 뜰까요? 천장 보셔야 돼요. 움직이지 않고.
Okay, this was the immersion method, and after from this you can after from this we also use the optical biometry. In the immersion method, this is very important because we avoid from the compression of the cornea, but we have no any control on the alignment. So the immersion method is better from the application one. Optical biometry has become popular and is now the current gold standard due to ease of use and accuracy, because it is very precise. And also we use two type of the optical biometries for the detection of axial length, IOL master and Leinster. The IOL master also it is produced in 1999, and it is also based on the laser partial coherence interferometry or PCI to measure axial length properly. The anterior corneal curvature is calculated at 6 references point and a hexagonal pattern at the 2.3 mm optical zoom. Assume this one is also very good, and also you can see this one in the this videos. In this video you watch this one. This is the Leinster.
And action.
This machine is the Zeiss IOL Master. So this will get different measurements of each eye for cataract surgery. So to get started, we can either add a new patient, or we can find someone who's been here before under patient list. You can type in the last name. It'll bring up all their past exams, and we can make a new one by just going to this eye now. So this is the overview icon. So the patient can come on forward. So we'll do the right eye first. So the first measurement that we're getting is called the white-to-white measurement, which is measuring the diameter from the limbus, or the outer iris, to the other side of the outer iris, or limbus. So you want this crosshair to line up in the center. Those dots should be nice and clear, and when you get the green stoplight, we're going to press the joystick button. now we're getting her K readings and her axial length measurements. So same thing, when it's lined up in the center, we have the green light, we're going to press this button here, just blink once and open. So this will do 4 times so that we get 20 axial length readings. Okay, blink again. Good. So far we have 10 axial length readings, so blink again and open. And then blink and open. And then just kind of keep your hand over spots so you can just delete those. And then we'll check our K readings by pressing the K on the keyboard. We'll press this twice. So we missed one of those Ks, so she must have blinked during the scan. So we can just repeat all of her K readings by just going into her pupil, make sure all these dots are nice and clear, and when it's green, we're going to press the button there. So now we have all of our 3 boxes filled out with our keys. So we'll press the space button to go to the next spot. This is the ACD, or anterior chamber depth. So we'll see how shallow the front part of the eye is. So you want that dot to be nice and small and clear in between these 2 white lines in this green box. And we have our green light, so we'll press the joystick button. And they should be about the same measurements. Space again. So last part is getting the last 2 white to white measurements. So we're going to line her up. Just blink, and when it's green, we'll press the joystick button, and one more time. And then same for her left eye, so we'll pull back, go to the left. And we're going to line her eye up again with that crosshair. Just blink once. Okay, and then blink again, and open. So we're getting her K readings again, and her axial length measurements. And blink and open. More accurate average axial length reading. These SNR values should be over 100, and that tells you how it's 2 white lines in that box. Just blink.
Okay, this was the IOL master, and we use in the IOL master also the anterior chamber depth, and also the axial length, and also white to white area. Okay, in the another one we also use in the Lancer. It is also produced this equipment in the year 2008, and it is very important. It is also measured from cornea anterior to the central to the retinal thickness, and also we can measure by the Lancer thickness of the cornea, axial length, anterior chamber thickness, and also retinal thickness, and also size of the pupil, and also centricity of the pupil, and curvature. All of them are calculated by the Lancer, and it is very important. And it is also work on the laser base, and it also measure just so near at the 2 point about the 32 points. The one is 2 to 3 millimeter from the center, and another one is 1 to 6. It is very near or closer to the 1.5 just the center of the steepest optical zone of the cornea. You watch here in this video, because the IOL master difference of this, the IOL master measure the cornea from endothelial to the retinal pigment, and this measure from the corneal epithelium to the retinal pigment area. You watch this video here.
Welcome to iSuite Biometry. This segment will demonstrate the keratometry features of the iSuite software. Lens-stone measures 32 keratometry points along 2 concentric zones along the cornea. The inner zone is measuring at 1.65 mm and the outer zone is measured at 2.3 mm. Each zone contains 16 distinctive points. The measurement range for keratometry is 30.1 diopters to 69.9 diopters. Keratometry measurements are captured during the biometry acquisition, ensuring that all measurements are on the patient's central visual axis. iSuite Biometry allows the user to adjust the keratometry to either plus or minus cylinders, as well as diopter or millimeter increments. In addition to these features, the user is also able to adjust the keratometric index of refraction. The standard US index of refraction is 1.3375 and the standard European index of refraction is 1.332. These values can be adjusted to ensure that the physician's current personalized optical biometry A constants can be utilized with the Lens-stone. It is also possible to specify how the visual acuity of a patient will be entered and displayed. The following options are available: decimal scale, logmar, Snellen 6 meters and Snellen 20 feet. The biometry examination results overview page will display the average of the flattened stigma reading, including the amount of astigmatism. The astigmatic degree will be displayed along the meridian either plus or minus as selected by the physician in the preferences menu. By selecting any of the key values from the results overview page, the user can open a new window displaying all of the keratometric values from the biometry acquisition. From this screen, the user may select individual measurements to evaluate independently. Measurement data can be excluded entirely by unchecking the box to the right of the measurement. The K1, K2, Axis 1 and Axis 2 measurements may also be excluded individually with a right click of the mouse. Excluded measurements will remain in the database and are not permanently deleted. Adjusted results will be displayed with an asterisk on both the keratometry screen as well as on the results overview page. Right and left eye measurements will open independently. Keratometry measurements acquired from secondary sources will also be manually entered in the iSuite IOL calculation section.
Okay, you see this is the Lens-stone and it is more accurate and more important from the another techniques. But at the study there is no any difference between the Lens-stone, between the IOL method and also between the immersion method. All of them are best method for the detection of the axial length. Okay, advantage of the optical biometry devices: operator independent and is not contact, so there is no any risk of transmission of the infections between the many patients because we also mirror many patients. And also it is very easily and also is very rapid and use of this is and okay. Optical and immersion biometry, if we have do the immersion biometry, so there will be a problem about minus 0.02 or plus 0.02 millimeters, and it is 5 type more accurate than applanation contact A scan, because in the applanation contact we use to plus minus 0.1 millimeter. Disadvantage of this because many patient in the dense cataract, this is the laser doesn't, especially in the subcapsular cataract, the laser beam doesn't enter to the retina area, so for this we use the immersion scan method. And also in the optical biometry, the patient will be have no anatosis, any layered problems, and also at the optical biometry the patient will have focus in a point, and also we can use the optical equipment in the patient who have vision about a 6 or 60. And also we can use this one in the finger pressure in the LP patient. This is also the limitation. And also the optical equipment for the detection of the axial length. We cannot use this in the patient who have nystagmatism and also who have tremor, head tremor. For this patient also we cannot use the optical. For this one, immersion method is the preferred. Okay, here in the biometry. Biometry performed in the area are delegated or untrained, stuffed, and not check this by the surgeon. So this may be any error. And also wrong entry of the car reading while we typing in our software. Also biometry printout attached to a wrong patient to another patient. One measurement attached to the another patient car. Incorrectly labeled IOL is very important. Wrong eye or wrong patient in theater in OT. And also not discussing target refraction with the patient. So also many patients maybe need to monovision. So this is very important. And not taking account of the other eye. This is very important. We should measure two eye of the patient for the detection of keratometry. Using other reading axial length in unilateral high myopia, hyperopa, and isometropia. This is very important issue because we use the another lens for this one. And also anywhere placement in sulcus instead of the back, because this is very important. Place up our effective lens position. This is very important. Okay, this is the thing which is done by which is related by the act of commission to the surgeon, and also acts of omission. This is also in the operator. Hurry up. And this is also maybe a mistake. The IOL power excessive reliance upon assistant. This is you should the surgeon should check measurement of the assistant. Incorrect eye patient biometry and also print incorrect enabling we have mentioned before. And the omission because no biometry at all. For many patients they use like the camp surgery, eye surgery camps, they don't use biometry. So this is also a problem. No spectacle prescriptions and also informed consent to the patient, and also no posimetry and also no IOL, incorrect IOL on the day of the surgery. This is also problem. Measurement of the axial length, maybe indentation, maybe misalignment, and also inappropriate equipment calibration. This is very important. Which eye select confident, also pseudopachic, pachic. This is very important. And also in the omission type, lack of appropriate contact failure to recognize the appropriate pattern to EQ. This is important. And measurement of the car reading, because incorrect centration of Myers, because you watch before in the video the target Myers, and also you should not use before the car reading gonioscopy tonometry. This is may depress the central or the steepest zone of the cornea and maybe have obvious error in the keratometry measurement. Also maybe not recheck and also by the surgeon. So this is maybe an omission act. Surgical error, inaccurate placement of the IOL, because we planned the IOL in the back, but we will play a cataract surgery, we place the IOL in the sulcus. So this is also an error in the biometry, and also maybe tilt the IOL due to haptic damage or another problems. So this is very important. Not checking stapler axis before incision, because if there will be astigmatism, so we would be detect the or pick up the astigmatism by incision in the steepest meridian. This is very important. And also formula, we choose our formula according to our axial length. These things, all of these maybe have error in the biometry, also in the detection of the IOL power, and maybe have the patient post-refractive error, post-refractive surgery errors. Also, in a specific condition, we have used a specific equipment. For example, for aphakia, there is no lens spikes, and also the transmissions of the sound wave is also maybe slow. This is very important. The parameter altered is the speed of the travel of the sound, which now average 1532 millimeter per second, and the two lens spikes in A scan are absent, being replaced by a single spike of the anterior vitreous phase and posterior capsule immersion. Meter is preferred rather than contact. The value should be reduced by 0.25 millimeter per sulcus placement, we have mentioned before. Okay. In the pseudophakia, there is very important. This can be important by well exchanges or a comparison while doing biometry for the other eye. Eye with IVL have an extremely high spike. Okay, the echo we have mentioned before will be confused to the retinal spike, so we decrease the gain. This is also important. Optical biometry is preferred, which upper more accurate correction. And also for the pediatrics, because the pediatrics eye development by the time, and for this is very important that we have a use proper IUL at the proper time to the children. The problem is in pediatric age, especially the very young, include the increased error in axial length measurement, which compound the fine labial power error due to shorter axial length. Axial length in K value must be measured under general anesthesia. But in the India journal, this mentioned that we don't do keratometry, and also we use the standard power of the keratometry 44 diopter, and also we only detect the axial length, and also we do this in down superior, and also we give the proper under correction to the children. Okay, the IVL power choice should allow good vision and growing age to prevent amblyopia, and ideally also give emmetropia in adult age. Currently, all infant about 2 months. This is very important issue, and this is a red line, because we always implant IVL more than 2 year age. But this is very important for us, and a new issue for us to do our implant IVL into more than the 2 month, and also less than the 2 month we will do lancectomy. As we do our lancectomy more less than 2 years usually. This is very important issue. The greatest concern at such an early age is to prevent amblyopia. Why we should do that to prevent amblyopia? The development of the eye necessitates initial undercorrection to avoid late myopic shift. Also, this is good issue. The growth of the anterior segment is usually completed at around 2 years. Hence, the IVL M-power is about 80% of the calculated amount of the power. Okay, if the patient is from 2 months to 2 years, we advise to this under correction all the detection the power of the IVL about 80%, and also from the 2 years to 8 year we or 12 year we use the power of the IVL power 90% to the patient. We also decrease 10% only. Okay, immersion A scan biometry is superior in measurement of the axial length in the children. So, and this is immersion is very important. Keep in mind this point. After posterior segment surgery, if there is posterior segment surgery, for example, there is silicone filled eye after vitrectomy, and there will be no cataract removal. So we will replace the silicone oil by saline or sodium chloride or Ranger, and also we choose the silicone oil. In the silicone oil also we use the laser, because the laser, the wave is the ultrasound waves goes slowly, and also there will be show elongated axial length. So for this we use the another one. Ultrasound biometry with immersion technique is prone to error because we have mentioned, such as a false longer eye due to slow sound speed, poor penetration from the sound absorption by IOL. Optical biometry with IOL master work can these harder. It is based on laser because laser is very good in this, and also we use always IOL master and the silicon filled eye. Velocity conversion standard A constant A scan contact biometry can be used to calculate axial length. And also if we use the A scan, so also we add this one and also use this formula, the 9080. This is the sound waves penetration in the silicon IOL, and also the 1532. This is in the normal or in the average eye. So we cross axial length of the vitreous plus AC different plus lens thickness. Okay, in corneal transplant, it is also very important. In the corneal transplant, we also take the previous measurement of the cornea or previous refractive surgery, or if it's not present a proper history, so we should use the another eye for reading. If there is a corneal scar but no group is plain, other eye reading is we used. Okay, calculation based on axial length. If axial length is about 21 millimeters, so the IOL power is about 22, and if it is 20 millimeter, it is 24 diopter IOL. This is previously already measure axial length and also their power in this presentation. This is very important. We can rapidly know from the axial length and also rapidly detect the IOL power from the axial length. Just we compare here. Okay, intraocular lens power calculation after refractive surgery. The refractive surgery we know which is will be done for the myopia or for the hypermetropia. It is the LASIK because it is will be flatten the steepest meridian of the optical zone. So for this also we need a proper measurement for the detection of the IOL power. Because this would estimate the corneal power by 1 diopter per every 7 diopter of correction of refractive errors. So also we justify this one in our setting. Okay, the data required for this is pre-operative keratometry and refraction, post-operative refraction. Also we use this one, and also if history is not available of the LASIK surgery of the previous refraction, so we use the following formula. The one is Shama's formula, K1 and by this one, and also Meloni method like this one, and topographic method like this one. This is also used in the refractive surgery and the setting where I use LASIK and PRK. Choice of formula. This is very important because the SRK2 formula, maybe if we use it in the wrong axial length, so maybe it is estimate high power IOL, like if it is we use this one and less than for example and 22 diopter, so this will be another formula will be estimate higher formula like 28 diopter. It is 2 more high. It is in fact this is 26 diopter and vice versa. And also the older formula and new formula we have mentioned in this slide table. New formula, holiday formula, SRK and Hopper Q formula, and old is for Brinkhorst and SRK1, and also this is according to the generation, per generation, second generation, third, and also it is according to the year by which it is produced. And the new one formula is RK2 and holiday formulas. Okay, this is the circumstances for which we can use a special formula. If the axial length is less than 20 millimeters, so we use Hopper formula or holiday 2. If this axial length is from 20 to 22 millimeters or in short eye, so we use Hopper Q formula. Or shortly, in the short eye, which is less than 22, we use Hopper Q formula. And from the 22 to 24.5 millimeter, we use the SRK2 or Hopper Q formula. We can use in the less and the normal phakic eyes, because the normal axial length is about from 22 to 24. Also, we have mentioned before 24 millimeters. So in this we use the Hopper Q formula and also SRK2 formula. If the axial length is more than from 24.5 and 26, we use holiday 1, and this is we use the one. If more than 26, we use SRK2 KT formula, SRK or T formula. And also myopic LASIK we use Hedges L, and piggyback we use holiday refractive formula. Okay. SRK, this is the name of the scholar. SRK surrender and also relapse and crop and T mean today. Okay, you have see here is formula and also power of the formula. This is A and minus 0.9 correlating, and also minus 2.5 axial length here. Okay, post-operative refraction. If we have some problem in our surgery, pre-calculation of the IOL power, and also after the surgery we have faced some problems here, like the causes pre-operative, operative, and also post-operative. In the pre-operative causes, also incorrect estimation of the post-operative IOL position, axial length measurement, and indication selection of the IOL power, their limitation of calculation formula, maybe we don't use proper formula for proper axial length, potential error in estimation of post-operative AC depth by current IOL power formula, lack of precision in IOL manufacturing, and also pre-operative corneal astigmatism and previous LASIK or Perky surgeon. We also do this for hyperopia or for myopia, and also post-cataract surgery due to an error in calculating corneal power and effective lens position. All of this have role in the pre-operative causes. Also in the operative causes, this is the surgical radiation, because the size of the incision and also size of the capsulation, subtraction of the capsulation, and surgically induced astigmatism. This is very important. And also residual astigmatism of the toric IOL, because we can don't place the toric IOL in the proper meridian for the astigmatic eye. Implantation may occur due to the effect of spherical power and AC anterior chamber depth in toric IOL calculation, the effect of posterior corneal astigmatism, and also effect of large photo size. Okay, post-operative, maybe there will be some fibrosis in the capsular bag, so the IOL will be pushed forward, so this will be maybe tiltness of the IOL. This is also post-operative causes, and the fibrosis will be occur after 2 weeks after surgery. Okay, prevention of residual refractive error after cataract surgery. Pre-operative corneal astigmatism can be corrected by the placement of incision on the steeper axis. Okay, and peripheral corneal relaxing incision and use of toric IOL. Patients who undergo bilateral sequential cataract surgery, the surgeon can study if refractive error in the first eye exceeds 0.5 diopter. If so, refractive error in the second eye can be improved by modifying the IOL power. So we can also modify this IOL power and less than 1, or we increase about these problems. Okay, if there is a large error in spherical or cylindrical power, corneal-based laser refractive surgery or lens-based procedure, namely piggyback IOL and IOL exchange, rotation of toric IOL. So we use this one to do to solve our refractive problem. It is preferable to do IOL exchange early within the 2 weeks, because the capsular bag doesn't fibrosis up to 2 weeks. But not exchange of the IOL, because there may be tear of the posterior capsule and there may be damage of the IOL haptics. So we should to place another piggyback IOL power, and also we should to use LASIK surgery for this refractive problem. Okay, per PEG-IOL in patients with post-IOL refractive surprise or in those with large dioptric requirement, a PEG-IOL in sulcus can be placed along with the primary implant. This method doesn't require knowledge of the power of the primary implant or of the axial length. Minor adjustments are needed which can be achieved using this formula for myopic correction, 1 cross the error, and also for hyperopic or hypermetropic 155 to the errors. P is the needed power in the piggyback, and also error is the residual refractive error that need to be corrected. Okay, in monovision, non-dominant eye is left with between 1 and 2 diopter of the myopia for the low reading, whilst emmetropia is targeted in the dominant eye. This is attractive to those who have previously been using contact lens or spectacles to achieve monovision. Which is the monovision? Monovision in the dominant eye, which is the dominant eye, and which is the non-dominant eye. In the dominant eye, for example, when we do any hunter and also when we shoot any bird by gun, so which eye we use, and also for topography, for photography, which eye the patient use, this is the dominant eye. And another was in the non-dominant eye. In the non-dominant eye, we set the non-dominant eye for the monovision, for the near vision, and the another eye for the far vision. Also, we use multifocal for near distance and also for the far. In the younger patient with a conventional monofocal IOL, patient under 50 years, also maybe the younger patient after cut LCD will have some problems, but they will resolve after the passing time. Will experience the sudden loss of active focusing, and it will be often take some time to adjust. Contralateral eye. If there is a refractive error but is unlikely to require cataract surgery within a few years, the postoperative target for the affected eye might be set for within less than 2 diopter. This is very important. If the other eye also have cataract and also have some errors, so we should use the IOL power in the operated eye less than the 2 from the another eye, because there will be difference less than the 2, not more than the 2, if the patient doesn't operate the another eye per year, per previous year. This is very important because the fusion of the vision and binocular vision maybe have no problem, and also we should avoid this issue. When there is an early lens opacity in the fellow eye, or when emmetropia is extreme, the patient can be offered lens surgery. Error in postoperative refraction factor errors, and also if there is our power 1 diopter error, this is less or more, so we have post-refractive error about 0.667 diopter. Epoxy lens is half diopter, so we will pass plus minus 1.25 diopter. In the keratometry is ratio 1:1. If there is 1 diopter problem, so the post-refractive power will be 1 diopter or half. IOL position, if we change our IOL position about half diopter, so our refractive error is about 1 diopter. This is very important. Okay, this is a study, this is a research reviewed the cataract of the 729 patient, and both eyes about 158 eyes who bilateral pure corneal pigmentation at a surgery center in Canada between 2013 to up to 2015. Intraocular axial length and corneal power were measured using the IOL master, and this is also PECO and also using of the IOL master. So here were problem and the outcomes, like 70% of eye were half diopter of refractive target problem in the axial length, and also this difference were greater than 0.4 millimeter in the axial length, and also the post refractive power also about 0.5 diopter. Okay, thank you from your attention. If you have any question, you can ask me.